welcome again to the Higher Trainer podcast.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Again. So thank you again for listening to the Higher Trainer podcast. We have the main man behind the camera, little baby Larry. Oh. He's too busy to talk. He's enjoying a lovely donut from Egg in Crossmaglen. Sure, I may as well throw out a wee shout out there. Sure, look.
Free sponsor.
Yeah, any chance for free donut?
The donut was very good, to be fair.
It was. You got the glazed one.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of a filled one myself.
Okay.
A filled donut.
Me too, I guess.
So for anybody who hasn't seen you on stage, heard anything about you are...
Which would be most people.
I don't know, you could be surprised.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you're a comedian?
Yes,
Would
comedian.
you say that's number one?
Yeah.
Top of the list?
Put
Actor?
that first. Actor. Yeah.
What else would you throw in there?
What else?
Jamiroquai impersonator?
Yeah. Part-time Jamiroquai impersonator.
We'll go with them three then?
Yeah.
And you also, similar to myself, have been back and forward across from here to London. So we'll chat about that later on. We're not going to dig into that straight away, but I'd be interested in knowing what made you want to get into comedy before. And I know this is probably something you've been asked on previous podcasts, but I'm sure you'll be able to keep it
fresh.
Keep it fresh.
So what made me want to get into comedy?
Yeah.
I just thought it was gas.
Yeah.
No,
because we all think that
well,
we're
every
funny.
Irish person knows there's a bit of gas in them. Like it's just whether you're willing to like get up on stage or keep it to the pub. And I just love attention. That's probably the two put together. But no, I've just always loved performing since I was a kid and not interested in like anything academic. So when you not left with much options then, but I like started off as an actor actually. So I started off as a trained actor. Then I left drama school, tried that for a bit, moved to Vancouver, Canada, in my early 20s. And then I seen a comedy class come up. And I was like, oh yeah, like that'd be great. And like learning how to write or even form a joke if I was writing a play or that kind of thing. But I was like, I've always loved to do comedy. And I've loved watching comedy. And but it's terrifying. Like I was terrified. So I just like that's why a class sometimes, if anyone else is ever terrified, trying it is like a good place to start. And then I just did that, did the class and just got the bug. Like it went well. The first, like what was a nice friendly audience at a showcase, but that went well. Someone asked me to do another gig and then it was just more like, yeah, it's like the biggest, best high when it goes well. So that's just constantly chasing that. And I liked it better than going to auditions and being pursuing acting for a while because it was like immediate. Like, you might go into an audition and think you did well, but you never hear from them again. Like if you don't do well at a gig, you fucking know. Yeah.
Straight away.
Tumbleweed. Feels awful. But like it's that instant feedback and it's more like you're more in control and like, I mean, you're just being yourself and that's the terrifying part of it is like, hiding behind someone else's words or a character. You're just like fully being yourself and it's like one of the best feelings ever when it goes well.
We might. I might ask you about a few times when it maybe didn't go so well in a wee bit, but we'll start on something that's a little bit more positive. Yeah.
Yeah. So straight into shit gigs. What's this girl? Don't really want to go see her now.
What was it like the first time that you got a good reaction out of a crowd?
Oh yeah, just like heaven.
Yeah.
It's just a pure buzz and like it's pure. It's like you're just in the moment. Like when you're in that present moment with an audience. And they're with you and they're laughing like this, like it's a high, We look for it in lots of different places. Like I do lots of meditation and I'm like, oh, this is the same feeling, but you're you're with someone, with other people and you're experiencing that.
A joint
experience. And then you just want to do it again. Then the build up to you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again. Fuck, why am I doing this? And then it goes well and you're like, oh, that's why. I guess I've never done heroin, but say something like that.
We'll take your word for it.
The best natural eye.
Yeah. I've heard that before with people who like sing or perform on stage anyway. Or even people that like maybe do theatre versus maybe acting on TV or whatever else. To find it's completely different in terms of the buzz that you get from doing it.
Yeah, like that's why I look. My like passion came from starting just performing live, and I was in lots of drama school, so it was like theatre was my buzz. Like film or TV now is good fun. It's nice to be a part of the crew, and like even like this when there's sets and stuff, like it's all fancy, it's fun, but like it's not the buzz that and the live buzz that you get from theatre or from gigs.
But it's probably less scary, the approach.
Yeah, it's less scary. Yeah, totally. There's more like not more crack, but like when you're around people and you're being creative, that's just crack. And nowhere near as scary.
Yeah. Like we are eventually gonna do a live podcast, like as in like we'll go to a wee pub and
that'd
like
be
invite
brilliant.
people in. But like my girlfriend said it to me the other day, oh, such and such would be really good at doing a live podcast, and she was like talking through it. Like you imagine your dad and your uncle and all these people coming, and each time she mentioned someone new, I was just like sitting into my chair like yeah. Getting a wee bit scarier.
It's something about your friends or your family. Like people think they're like, I want to come see you, I can't wait. I'm like, oh, please don't. I just don't want like people I know to see me fail. I don't care about anyone I don't know. That's the like fun of it. You sometimes you do well, sometimes you like most of the times you do well actually, to be fair, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I just I do not have the balls for that. But when it does go wrong, you don't want someone you know to be there, because I always feel like, well, it's probably Irish, isn't it? Like someone then go on, did you go see Anna? How was she? Yeah, she's shy, but fair play to her, you know. And then they pass it on to someone else. You're like, fuck.
It's such an Irish thing, isn't
it's
it?
just someone you didn't know. You're like, whatever.
It is a hard one because they want to be there to support you so much, and they're probably like, it'll help you nearly to be there.
They're excited for you. They want to be there. There's a little bit of them going, what's she at, you know? Is it real?
They go for a sneer as well.
Yeah, they're like, but I would hope at this stage, like this is what I say about like people are going, are you good? I'm like, I would hope at this stage of my career that like my dad, like he drove me here, like he comes to everything, that he'd literally be like, sit me down and be like, listen, Anna, it's not for you. Just like straight up honest, like, because I've seen like if I was constantly bombing, like just being like, you know, like we just have to let you know, like this isn't working, like someone that honest. But no. Has
Daddy gone to see you?
Yeah, he comes to as many gigs as like he's able to. If not, he's in the country. He loves it.
Love that.
He like, it's funny. This is the funny mix between like when I did theatre and now I do more gigs than theatre. But my mum would always come to my theatre gigs. She loves it. Oh my god, loves the plays, loves everything, loves seeing me. And my dad would come and he'd be fucking asleep. He'd be fast asleep. You could see him with his big shiny bald head, just asleep. I'd like literally be looking at him. I'm like, great. And now the switch from doing mostly gigs, my dad would be there all the time. Really enjoys watching that. And my mom's like, one time she's like, I'll come when you're more successful. And I was literally playing like the Ivy Gardens. And I was like, more successful, Mom? We're not going to get more successful than this. But she sees it as very laddie.
Yeah.
Comedy is a bit more laddie than elegant theatre.
It's vulgar, that crack.
Yeah. So,
Schluck.
or maybe she thinks I'm going to rip her to shreds. But just
is
the right amount for, you know,
do you
what you're allowed.
You don't rip people out, do you?
No, I'm not that kind of person.
I didn't think you were.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit too nice for that.
Have you ever been ripped out at comedy?
Yeah,
watching someone else?
Yeah. By someone ripping me out of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done like one roast battle I think before, and I was just like, it was good crack. You know, roasts are good crack, but like I'm an easy target. So I lost that one. And yeah, I think one time I got up on stage, and I had like an opening joke about a lick out or something. Lick out is a horrible word, isn't it? What else do Americans use? Different words. Anyway,
use the technical term.
Yeah.
Cunningus.
Cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus. There you go.
Cunnilingus. Sounds like someone's name, doesn't it? And then my dad was filming it for me. And the comic that got off after me was like something like, "Oh my god, I can't believe." Like said something about literally how proud Anna's dad must be filming her from the back when she's talking about Mr. Cunnilingus. Mr. Lingus.
Oh.
Well, on the drive home, my dad was like, you know, I get it. You know, you're just starting off. You have to talk about, you know, be a bit more like you're starting off. You probably are a bit more blue than you want to be, but it's like an easy gag. I don't open with Cunnilingus anymore.
No.
Not on stage. There's definitely an opener at the bedroom.
Moving on swiftly. When you were focused mainly on acting, it was the theatre side of things that you were more interested in, was it? Or
Yeah, that's where my passion, like it was just literally being on stage and being like, look at me, was my passion from a kid, from being a kid. And then I went to the Gaiety School of Acting full-time course for 2 years when I finished school, and that is mostly theatre work, with some film and TV courses in it. And then you come out, and I was getting little bits of TV and film work, and I actually was on Fair City for 2 years when I was a teenager as well, so a bit of both. But I was writing my own plays. And getting a bit more of that work in Dublin before I left.
The creative side of it was.
Yeah, it was just like you come out and you like there was a good class in our in drama school called Manifesto, and you had to create your own work, and each week you got like a brief and you came back, and that was really good for me because I came out of school just being like, I'm definitely not a writer. I feel absolutely like I hate school. I felt absolutely thick. So I just thought performance was like what to do, but like. It's hard to make it as a performer. So like you literally, if you want to, like, if you have a passion, you kind of do need to create your own work. So then we got that good lesson in that in school and came out. And then I was like, right, I'm just going to like write my own plays and put on my own shows. But like putting on your own play is way harder than putting on your own gig, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I had a friend
it's
who
just
did
a lot easier to put on a gig.
I had a friend who did a one-man show in Edinburgh, I think, before, and he was talking to me about how much time he put into it. I think he was like doing it for like a year and a half, just prepping and like.
Yeah.
He changed the story, not changed the story, but edited it like 20 times, and on the day he freaked out. He's like, "No, I'm not happy with it." I was like, "And you call that fun?"
Yeah. No. I mean, being creative is actual torture sometimes. It can get a bit much. Yeah. It's just like.
With the comedy, then you put up a lot of funny posts and a lot of funny things on social media as well as doing stuff on the stage.
Try to.
Let's rephrase. Try to.
I mean, I do, but I'm not ongoing showcase. Also, just love to. Hey, Dad. It's gonna be another.
Hey, Daddy.
How are you?
It's gonna. We're in the middle of it. About another hour, I'd say, or about an hour and.
I have no phone coverage, right?
Oh, okay.
Over the square opposite the Cross Hotel.
Okay, cool. See you then.
Good. I have a donut here for you as well, whenever you get hungry.
What?
I have a donut here for you whenever you get hungry.
I was over Milo's.
Oh, okay, I'll find you.
Keep all this in.
Oh God. Yeah, you should just get him to sit down.
Yeah.
People love my dad on like the wholesome content. Whenever I get my dad on the Insta, and he's like, "Oh, stop it," and then I'm like, "Oh, come on, they love you. Like they literally love you." They're reading out the comments. He's like, "Who are these people?" I'm like, "I don't know."
You show anything to your parents at all on social media? Who is that?
Yeah. Did you go to school with them? No, that's a fucking randomer. So yeah, there's me, 31. My dad drove me up to Crossmaglen.
Look.
And now he's sitting in the car reading the newspaper or something. We love.
I'm 20. I'm going 29. I've lived away from home for 6 years. My girlfriend's going away for 2 weeks, and my mum was like, "Do you want to come out and stay with us for the 2 weeks?" As if I can't look after myself for the 2 weeks.
My mums and their sons are just, she was like, "Let me look after." Mums are like, "Let me look after you." Yeah. When I like came home, well, it was actually hard, but when I accidentally moved home for a bit into lockdown, my mum was like, "Yes, you need me." And I was like, "No, I don't."
But I'll take your dinners.
Yeah, I was like, yes. What were we talking about? My dad rudely. I think he came in to see if I was alive. He's like, "Who are these people asking her up to do a podcast?"
In Crossmaglen. Yeah, fair. It is actually mayhem when you arrive into Crossmaglen as well, because there's cars everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't know where to park.
Yeah.
So there's a different world, understandable. She's okay, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was about to ask about making.
Oh, the social media was
Yeah, about making. How do you find being able to like come up with an idea for, like, obviously on stage it takes a lot more to be able to come up with it. It's a longer form of comedy, but how do you find then transferring your funnies into like a post, like something as simple as a picture with a caption? Do you find that is just like a snap
If it's a
thing?
picture, I find easy to write a caption because you just look for something in it.
Yeah.
You know, like a pun or a wordplay or something. Pictures are easy. It's just the hunger, like, then you want to do, like, I'm very much trying to grow my Instagram, but it is a full-time job if you want to do it and have multiple things going on, but you need to be able to do both. So just testing what works, like posting reels now, then trying to be funny on your stories, and like then I think you're just being yourself as well. Something not funny every day, are you?
Yeah, you don't have to be funny all the time.
Yeah, like come on.
I often think that like people involved in comedy do you feel like you have to be funny all the time?
I think like I find what was funny, like my brother he's used to be in marketing, and like 3 or 4 years ago he's like, change your name to like put comedy at the end of it on your Instagram. And he's telling me like that's then people know what you're doing, and I was like, I'm mostly posting selfies on my Instagram, and then people just like comedy. I was getting that dopamine hit just like when I was single, just like look at me. So now that I put it on every now and again, I'm like, I wish that wasn't there. Like, because then if it was just my name, they're like, oh, she's gas. And then they're like, oh, comedy? I don't think so. You think that's comedy?
You're setting their expectations too
Yeah.
high.
Just like if I was just myself.
Slightly comedic.
Yeah. Sometimes, in working hours.
Yeah. I asking purely out of the interest because I post on social media. I do try to include humor.
Yeah.
Humor the odd time. So I do always enjoy people that can translate comedy onto something like a picture or a simple reel, something in 60 seconds. But I would say you probably started off when you were writing shorter pieces, one-liners and things like that.
Short gags can be easier to write.
Yeah.
For sure. But then trying to get it. Yeah. Now I'm like with writing an hour for the Edinburgh show, like want to make it more storytelling in it than just short gags the whole time,
Yeah. Who would you find that you think is funny in terms of people that are stand-ups?
Like inspiration from when I was like growing up, like Tommy Tiernan.
Yeah.
Like just massively, like just his madness and his energy on stage is brilliant, isn't it? Ali Wong is a good American female comic. She has 2 really good Netflix specials. That kind of like ones that you go, fuck, I wish I wrote that.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, I relate to that so much. I wish I wrote that. Ricky Gervais, love all his like sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
Proper hilarious, like little voices and stuff.
He's good. I never got big into watching like stand-up comedy up until I think it was lockdown, and then the amount of Netflix specials that started coming out was like crazy. Kevin Hart, I think, was one of the first ones I got into, and then I started listening to his audiobook, and ever since then it's either I have an audiobook on the go or I have a Netflix series on the go of like something stand-up. Because I find if you're not laughing, like what's the fucking point? And like, well, obviously not everything you watch or listen to you need to have a laugh, but I like having
a little bit of humor, like you said. You're doing it with your like posting about coaching online, but anything with a little bit of humor, like people are more engaged with, for sure.
Especially Irish people.
Yeah.
How did you find your humor went across in Canada whenever you started?
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Bring me back. Oh, I was like, just say hello in your accent, and I'm like, this is easy. And Canadians are so nice. They're so nice. They're like, yeah. So like, I think I thought I was fucking brilliant in Canada. Like, and that was like starting off. So you're an open micer. You're like, not. But like, it's just really nice. Then I was terrified coming home to Dublin. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, first of all, every Irish person is hilarious. Like, so everyone sitting in that seat watching you is fucking gas. Secondly, like, my accent in Canada was an Irish accent. My accent in Dublin is like, I'm from a bit of a posh area. Like, they'll be like, who's she? Fuck off. So yeah, I was terrified. But actually, Dublin audiences are really nice. I mean, Irish audiences in general are really, really nice. England is a tougher nut.
Is that?
Yeah.
Do you have to change how you maybe deliver the jokes whenever you're going from place to place? Or you just like, this is how I am, and
a bit like maybe you might just sometimes like it helps to suss the room, think, oh, what will these people like, trying to gauge them, but like it can surprise you sometimes as well. I can look at room like what I think is full of millennials, being like, yeah, perfect, this is my perfect audience, and then they're just a bit uptight and they're like, I wanted something a bit more woke, and then sometimes you're like looking at people on my dad's age, you're like, fuck, I don't want to talk about all this. And then they're loving it. So you don't like, you try and suss the room, gauge it a bit, but not too much. Just have to be yourself and just throw it out there.
You can nearly try and be a chameleon nearly too much to try and cater to it and lose you.
But like, just maybe reference stuff in the room about where you are situated and bring them in a bit. But
I seen you performed in Vauxhall.
Yeah.
And Vauxhall holds a very dear place in my heart because I worked in a pub in Vauxhall for a year and a half.
Oh, nice.
And when I seen that It was a video of you were telling a joke about dry January.
Yeah.
I think it was in the Vauxhall spot, and I was like, this is mad. I didn't even know you had performed there before, and I was just like doing some research. Yes, I do research for these podcasts.
Good.
I think that's mad.
Yeah, Vauxhall. So the Vauxhall Comedy Club. I think it's open. Well, that was a clip from 2 years ago now. So it's been open a while, but it's just near the tube station and the bus station. So it's under like the rails. So it's deadly now. They have it. It used to be like some kind of maybe. I want to say sex club, but maybe that's just a joke someone made because it looks a bit seedy. But I think it used to be a bit of a dodgy place, and now they've turned it into like an outdoor kind of like benches and events place, and then they have 2 venues, and they do lots of stuff. It's brilliant. It's really fun. And so if anyone's in London, Vauxhall Comedy Club, they do like bring your own. Not bring your own, but BYO. No, what's it? All you can booze. All you can booze. What am I talking? Bottomless booze. Yeah. Oh, fucking Jesus.
Come on.
Get it out there. Like.
Spend enough time in London, you should know about bottomless brunches.
Booze. They do bottomless booze, like brunch comedy night days, or the days. My brain is gone. Or nights, and like obviously that's actually rowdy as fuck to perform in front of, but like really good fun if you want to go watch.
Do you drink whenever you're performing, or no?
They do give you the bottomless booze as well there, so that's nice. But I'll have 1, 2 max before I go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
But
Smart.
yeah, you don't ever want to go on smashed. It's not fun.
No. Yeah. So I did a podcast with a couple of boys from Dundalk, and I think it was the one I sent across. And by the time we finished, we were fucking leery.
I did a podcast once and drank, and I could never listen back to that again. Fuck.
No. The last hour. Well, we cut the last hour and a half anyway, but I couldn't listen to the last hour of it. So I can imagine getting on stage with a few drinks in you is probably not the best thing.
No, you can't. You don't want to come off and not remember what you said. You know, like one for a bit of Dutch courage, but like, yeah, you want to be clear and concise and get the jokes out.
Get the point across.
Yeah, not be like, I don't know.
What was the weirdest thing about coming? Well, let's start on something not so weird. What was the best thing about coming home to Ireland whenever you came back for that little holiday and ended up staying for a while?
I swear to God, when I came back, my first lockdown was absolute hell. So it was really difficult. And I just have to be honest about that. But in that, obviously brings nice moments. So you're like, okay, there was a reason for that. So I got really into sea swimming when I came back that time. I've done it before a bit, but like, because we live so close to the sea and there was nothing going on, and like my brain was actually gone. So like my brother was like trying to tell me, like, go and sea swimming, like really helps you, like it's better. And I was like, how? Like what? I was like, no, it's just, like nothing can fix me. I was like absolutely like in the depths of it. And then I just like got so sick of myself that I forced myself to go every day for a month, and it changed my life. So that was really good. And I also started gardening with my dad. So my dad has an allotment, little plot of land close to the house as well, where he grows vegetables, and that's all we could do. And he would we'd just go up there, and like that was so therapeutic as well. Just like looking after something when you're not feeling very well yourself, caring for it and making it like have a life. It actually like gives you a bit of a life force. Yeah. So those 2 things, and then just like actually falling back in love with like Dublin, because I had travelled and like literally did run away. I think many Irish people can relate to that, but like I ran away. Well. Yeah, like I did not want to be there. I kind of hated being in my small town, and even though it's a beautiful place, but like I hated like bumping into people and them asking how you were and what you were up to, especially as an actor or performer. You're not up to, like, I'm not up to much. I'm not, So when I was home, I was like, oh my God, loving the sea swimming, being my dad, and eventually like loving being home, and then just walking around, and it was lockdown. So we were like, what are you up to? Nothing. None of us are. Nothing. So you were just like, didn't mind bumping into people, like, how are we getting on? Like, I was loving it.
Love that shit. But you said one thing there about the plants, and I've heard a lot of people be suggested to look, like, maybe buy a plant. It's going to help you with your mental health. Then I also, now that I'm saying it, I fucking hope it wasn't you to put up this post, because that would be funny if I regurgitated something. Did you ever do that when you look at something so much?
Yeah, you don't know where it came from.
Yeah, you don't know where it came from. But I seen, maybe it was a reel on Instagram, and they were like, oh, someone told me to go and buy a plant because it'd be good for my mental health. Well, it's 2 weeks later, I come downstairs and all the leaves are off my plant and it's dying, and now I'm crying. Oh God. Not really good for my mental health.
That was why when you said that, I was like, oh God, but sometimes you can't. It's hard. It's sad when you can't keep them alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only
So
thing.
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't you anyway.
No,
so,
that
right,
wasn't me. It wasn't
boom.
plants.
Oh, yeah, my stomach didn't feel well there
Yeah.
for a second. I was like, can't do this live. But sea swimming is probably the most, has probably seen the most increase in Ireland
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like everybody's at
Oh,
it.
everyone's at it. Yeah.
I even decided to do it, and I don't like the cold,
No.
and I don't like the sea for different reasons. Well, actually, I don't like the sea because it's cold and because of what's in the sea as well. But I still go.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah. No, like I think it's.
You laughing at me behind that? Do we have to do this again? The last time I spoke about sea swimming, he was laughing behind the camera.
Why? You don't believe
Because the
him?
first time I went in, I hadn't sea swam in years. Hadn't even played sports outside in years. I'd moved to indoor sport. And it was fucking freezing the first time, and I only stayed in for a couple of minutes, and then I got out, and he thought it was dead funny. Big man.
This could be humorous to watch people go in, yeah, and at the first time you're like, ah.
Yes, I know.
You do. Oh yeah, it takes a while though. The first few times I go in, you're like, no, like it's just like that mentally. You're like, no, and then you literally just have to keep moving. You have to keep moving, and then just like then you get past that, and then you're like, oh fuck, you're so present. You're just like,
That's it.
nothing matters. You're like, oh my god, I'm actually so small in this world.
It's that like getting a wee bit more presence. Like doesn't matter how you do it. Like it makes such a big fucking
Yeah,
difference.
and like the breath, so it forces you to use your breath. Because you need to try and stay alive and stay somewhat warm in the water, and then you're literally like,
How often would you go now?
So like now I live in town. My boyfriend, it's harder to get to the sea than when I was living at home. So I need to get back into it now because I literally was like, I have gone a bit crazy again, and so I'm gonna try and get to the sea a couple of times a week if I can. Yeah, because there's nothing like the sea. I try and do the cold showers, and I have an ice bath in the back garden. So I try and do something where the cold hits me each day. But the sea is the best.
Or you do something cold every day?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Put your mind through that mental stress, and then you should be able to handle stress better in your day. But I don't know. This week's been hard.
I don't think Wim Hof would approve of your hat, though.
So he'd love this. The Iceman. After, once you're finished.
Yeah.
It's like his body hair.
Yeah,
You know?
it fucking basically is. Basically is. What was the worst thing about moving home then from London?
It's just shock. It was absolute, like, I was in absolute shock. I didn't mean to. I flew home for the weekend to be with friends, and decided to stay on because it was meant to be 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, 3 weeks? Yeah, I'll just stay at home and eat free food. And then sorry, I'm getting distracted by the noise outdoor. So then there was just like 3 things that happened 4 things, was it? 4 things that happened in a week that I wouldn't wish on anyone else, and one of them being a global pandemic. Then my mum we got bad news about my mum's health. I was stuck back at home in my family bedroom. That was an absolute shock. That I couldn't believe. I was like 15 years of traveling and working hard, and I was like, am I back in my childhood bedroom? Like it just was like, and we weren't allowed to leave 2 kilometers. And then like relationship ended, and I was just like, my like mental breakdown.
Series of very unfortunate events.
Yeah, it was just too much. Like, just the pandemic alone would have been enough, you know, or being just back at home.
Back home.
Because being back at home is hard. Like when you're older and you don't mean to be, and you've built up a life.
Yeah.
I was like, am I never going back to London again? What? I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I guess people were talking about the pandemic, but I was kind of like, come on. I was very much like,
I was in Printworks the day that, like, you know, people stopped going places
were
in
you?
London. Yeah, it was
Wow.
like my last couple of weeks in London
Fun.
before I moved. It was literally empty. There was nobody in there.
Yeah.
I was having a great time. It
Yeah.
was some crack. But like moving back and being in your own old bedroom is a strange experience.
Oh, so
I was
weird.
blessed. My little sister took over my room when I had left, so
Oh.
I was into the spare room. So I didn't get as much of it.
Yeah, I should have not gone to the room where, because like when you're a teenager, like I had a really hard time as a teenager mentally, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm back in this exact same spot with this exact same headspace. It was like, yeah, it was just too much. And my brother had moved home because we were worried about my mum, and then I was like, oh my god, we shouldn't all be living in the gaff again. Like we just shouldn't be living in the house. And we're there trying to be like help my mum, and she's like, fuck off. Because like you don't want your adults. My brother was probably fine, but your adult daughter turning into a fucking teenager again.
It's hard.
It's hard not to. You know, you're like, oh, you just turn into this absolute bitch.
I found myself when I moved home myself getting into patterns of like bickering with me and my little sister.
Yeah.
That like
same kind of
I
thing
haven't
happens
been in
again, doesn't
years.
it? Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah.
It's so strange. Like
I mean, yeah, obviously had to do it. I'm very lucky to have a gaff and my parents to be able to like bring me back in and stuff, but don't recommend it.
I'm glad the sea swimming and just being in the cold has played a wee part, and you're feeling better in yourself.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you've been doing or that's helped?
Going back to therapy. I've done that a couple of times, so I'm back in that. That always helps to talk to people, but I think there's different ways. Trying to training definitely helps. Like I've just never noticed something helped me as much as the sea swimming, you know, because I've tried a million things. I'll read a million self-help books and try and change my schedule. Always trying to improve my sleep. Never works.
If you think of any tips, our fella here could use it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably the same for you as me. It's like I am trying to constantly perfect my sleep. Read the books about sleep and getting a good sleep, and I'm like, our careers don't allow for that. You know, my schedule's never the same.
Yeah,
you're wired after late nights, and then you still have to get up if you have like a commitment to like other little bits of work to keep you going. I don't know.
And you're probably
haven't figured it out, yeah. And then I want to have kids, so I'm fucked.
Guaranteed no sleep.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, this is me now. Wrecked.
You could bring yourself to a point of sheer exhaustion when you have a child that you'll probably just fall asleep though.
That's what I'm hoping, but then I'm like, no, I'll be like worrying about their life and staying awake.
When they're 20, what car will they drive?
Yeah, like who are they gonna date? I hope they treat them well. Oh my god, I hope they're gonna get bullied in school. Like that's what I already think. I'm always like, Jesus, I hope my kids don't get bullied in school. Fuck, I hope they're not the bullies. Fuck, that'd be worse. I'll be like, what, you little bitch. I'm already worrying about my kids. I don't have any. Like this is what keeps me up at night. But yeah, anything else that helps me? Training, journaling, writing, talking to friends.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't when
podcasting.
When people are like, oh, what helps? Mental health. Usually people like try and put it down to one, but it's like there's one thing that might help you a lot more than the others. But I think you need to have a load of tools in the pocket.
Things. Meditation, I find really helpful. I love it. Oh my god, I just love listening to meditation music and sitting there. It feels like you're back in the womb or something. You're just like, oh my god, I'm so safe.
You can get
I literally could sit and just listen. I'm like, no, you have to work and live.
You do guided ones?
I stopped doing the guided ones ages ago. They're really good if you want to get started. But yeah, now just like put on the binaural beats and go.
Zone out.
Yeah.
How long would you go for?
I just do 10 minutes now because I don't have the time. Did 20 in the lockdowns because I had more time.
I go for 3 minutes. I'm like even shorter.
That's
than
enough.
You.
Yeah, even just stilling your mind for a second. Like sometimes when I'm just like finding stuff overwhelming in the day, because it can be so many different things that I need to do in a day. If I just like sit for a second and close my eyes and like even just picture how that is going to turn out, it helps.
Do you you don't meditate before you go on stage or anything, or do you have a wee pre-stage routine?
No, I love going for a big walk, like if I can. You know, I'd rather walk to a venue if I can. Like when I was in London, I'd walk an hour and a half from like somewhere.
Strut as you get closer.
Yeah, just like chatting or walking. I don't know, like I was getting into the Wim Hof breathing for a while, right? But like I just find like all the stuff that I know benefits me could take me the whole day to do. So sometimes I'm like, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But breathing definitely helps before gigs for sure.
That's definitely a big thing where people have tried to cram in too many things that are good for you, and it ends up being something that you beat yourself up with.
Yeah, you just turn them into chores. You're like, oh my god, okay, I have to get up, stretch, meditate, cold shower, some kind of fitness, about 10,000 steps, journaling, okay, and then you're like, all right, the day's done, and I have no work done. Cook the dinner, like dinners, Jesus, I love cooking dinner, but sometimes it's hard to think of what to have for dinner all the time.
It definitely is.
Healthy meals, you know.
Helps having a boyfriend who's slightly in that game, doesn't it?
Well, I'm the one who cooks all the dinners. So like, yeah, he would be like, I want to, have something with protein tonight. I'm okay, different meal with different protein.
So he gives the directions, but you have to come up with the solution.
Yeah, well, I do love cooking, so I try and do like, we're both super busy, so I'll try. I don't always get this done, but like try and do meal preps on Sundays. Cook like a massive bolognese or chili or something that's like easy to just dish out during the week.
When you're busy, you need to use that time wisely, or else you just end up grabbing whatever's there.
Then we get too many takeaways. Yeah, but like you don't enjoy takeaways as much if you get them every night.
Were you a fan of the?
You're like, no. Like I know they are great now, but
yeah, same with drinking.
Many.
The more you drink, the less you enjoy the drink.
Yeah.
So to say. Were you a fan of Deliveroo when you were in London?
Yeah. I mean, fan Deliveroo in Dublin. We still have it.
Oh,
yeah,
Deliveroo.
Deliveroo.
We're plebs down here. We're
Deliveroo,
plebs.
Just Eat in the city centre. Yeah, they don't have it out where my mum and dad live either. But we use that far too much now.
Yeah. Where's the go-to?
Yeah, same in London, Uber Eats and stuff like that.
Where's the go-to if you were getting Deliveroo in Dublin?
We love getting chipper. So Antonio's chipper in Dublin is good. Love a chipper. Domino's isn't Deliveroo, is it? But Domino's is
I was about
always.
to say, if you're paying Deliveroo to get a Domino's.
No, we don't pay Deliveroo. Do you know, I got COVID during Christmas, and I got Aldi Deliveroo to me. And I was delighted, like, because then I got the whole spread, like, and I didn't lose my taste, so all I did was eat for those 10 days, and I was delighted that the poor man fucking cycling with bags of potatoes on his back.
I did lose the taste when I had the COVID. It was the worst. But anything with good texture, I was still gobbling.
Were you? Oh, it was texture then. That's interesting to see what texture
I was just
tastes
like
like.
eating. No, it was just like, right, I'll have crisps and stuff that are just nice, like I can crunch away at them. Like, couldn't really taste them.
Oh, no, I'm lucky now. Hopefully I don't lose my taste, because that would kill me.
Yeah, sadness. When we're going to go back to making Instagram, well, not so much Instagram, but just making comedy. I had said to you that I'd be interested in knowing about your process and how you kind of come up with ideas. But you mentioned like with the Instagram posts, it's like seeing a picture and puns and things like that. Is there anything that do you have an actual process that you do, or do you kind of just like get inspiration, you get an idea and then you just write it down, and then later
yeah, it kind of comes at you, it's just like fucking, it's like I wish I had like, I try and do a process, but if I try and do a process of sitting down, and sometimes I do that just for exercises, like here you have 2 hours to write, but like the good stuff never comes to you when you're just trying to write. I love paper. Oh my god, and I hate that I love paper, but I love paper, bits of paper everywhere. Oh, that kills me, because then I'm looking back at it, I'm like, what the fuck? And I can't even read my own handwriting. I'm like, what the fuck? Then but if I actually try and use a laptop, that is the most, like, that kills me,
Yeah.
Something about like sitting down, that kills me. So it'll be like walking, and then my notes. So my notes on my phone is full of shite. And then...
Do you want to laugh?
I try, and then sometimes I get really into like organising it, and then I'm like, that's too much. Like, that took me 3 days to organise.
Like 1,400 notes.
Wow, okay, that's bad.
That's insane. Now, I do have them kind of organised, but
What
do I look at them ever again?
I only have 244, because I have them, or sometimes I do pass them over to my laptop. But yeah, so that kind of thing, walking, chatting, and then like Edinburgh, I'm writing a show about bringing up for Edinburgh, so you have stuff that you want to write about for that. It's obviously all like life experience, I guess. And then even if you do going to an open mic or going to a gig where I'm not getting paid, I'm going to always try new material. So that kind of forces you, like, what will I speak about? So you're like, you just kind of different things online. Like,
so basically what you're saying is it's a little bit of, you do try and do the, like, sit down and do it, but it's just ideas.
I try and like tell myself, if I haven't done anything in a while, right, but it's not where it comes. You might start off a premise like, oh, that was funny, like that when that happened to me, or this is a funny idea, and you might try and flesh it out, and then you don't actually get to the point until you're walking somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Or you're on stage. You might be like, literally, if it's a open mic, if it's a new material night, you might go with your bit that you think is kind of funny. You don't really know how you're going to say it or what to say.
How to phrase it, maybe.
And you get on stage and you try it, and it either goes, you try it again.
Whenever you have tried things and maybe not gone down so well, do you have like a good ability just to be like, let's move on swiftly from there?
Yeah, I think so. Well, like obviously in new material nights, that's grand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. We all know this is new. paid gigs where you think you have your stuff that you know works, but sometimes it doesn't work. Then you go, yeah. If it's one bit that doesn't work, I can pick myself back up and go. If the next bit that you think, yeah, they'll definitely like that, but it doesn't work, you're like, okay, it's you. And then you're like, yeah, fuck.
Yeah. I used to be so bad, like if I had an interaction, like let's say a coaching interaction with somebody, and maybe they didn't seem like they were responding, and like we weren't hitting it off too well, like they maybe like if I was asking questions, it'd be like short answers, yes or no. I used to like get in my head and be like, oh no, this isn't going well, and panic. But it was only after I'd be like, just be willing to push through that. Sometimes people just maybe don't open up in the conversation that early. Like I can imagine if I was getting up on stage on my own, that I would get in my own head very easy.
Yeah, it is. It's really, I'm definitely not, I'm not good at that. Like sometimes even if it goes well, like it seems to be like the bigger successes. Like I did Vicar Street in Dublin, which is a big venue, in September, and like I went really well. Like it definitely went well. Got lots of applause breaks, and the next day I wasn't like, the feeling wasn't great. I was like, no, I didn't do, I convinced myself that I didn't do well. But like when I think about it now, I'm like, you definitely did. Yeah. And my friends were there, and lots of applause breaks in your set is obviously good. Yeah. But I had something in me. I was just like, no, wasn't happy. Wasn't happy with myself. Wasn't enjoying the feeling afterwards. It was really weird.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not nice, is it?
And you're thinking like that beforehand. You're probably like, oh, if I do really well, I'm gonna feel fucking great the next day.
Yeah, like this is a big deal. Oh my god, how nice that I've been asked like another step in your career. And like I was buzzing, and then afterwards I came off as buzzing, and I was enjoying the green room and stuff. But the next day I was so down on myself. Oh, it's not worth it if you're doing that. I'm trying to fight that at times. Like just then you're like, then you're not enjoying it. Like then don't do it if you're gonna just pick at yourself the next day.
Yeah, once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah, it's funny. Any people like often said to me about something like maybe I ran like a 6-week course or something on something in here, or like did a podcast, and people were like, oh, it was really good, you must be really happy with the feedback. And I'm like, yeah, but afterwards I didn't feel any better.
Yeah.
After doing it, I probably felt better while doing it the next day or anything, or whenever it comes out. I'm just like,
it's probably a bit of the come down, isn't it? You're like on a high, that went really well. Next day you have to go again. You're not like, woo, you're like, yeah, that's me, made it. You're like back here, and you're like, I have to go again. Have to ask for more gigs. Have to put myself back online. Have to go again. I don't want to go again. I want to lie down.
Yeah, it's like I cleaned the house already yesterday. It's already time to clean it up today.
Oh my god, the gaff! Don't talk to me about gaff. Why is the gaff always dirty? That wrecks my head.
The houses seem to get more dirtier the older you get, I find. Like when I was younger, I didn't know
that's because your mum and dad's house. Or like now, I'm living with my boyfriend, and I feel like we live a small house, but it's always dirty. Yeah. And he's like, he doesn't think it's always dirty. I'm like, it's always fucking dirty. And then I'm like, oh my god, I was so mean to my mum. I did not do any cleaning, and I literally would always just leave shite everywhere. I'm sorry, mum.
Is that your inner mammy speaking, do you think, or speaking to you whenever you see the house and it's always...
I'm just like, oh my god, I just see something that wrecks my head, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm just like, the bathroom always needs to be cleaned. Oh. Always. There's always dishes. We don't have a dishwasher. Dishes. Literally always dishes, isn't there? Because you're like always eating. And then, yeah.
Do you clean up after you cook? Or do you actually do it in a couple of hours?
I try to, but like, what wrecks my head is like, I'll do a massive clean the dinner and do a massive, like, we make something really nice, and then like, my boyfriend should probably clean up, and he doesn't want to clean up straight after his dinner. He wants to chill. So then I like leave the dishes, and then I'm just like, it wrecks my head that the dishes are being left there, and I'm like, fuck. But I'm like, I'm not cleaning them.
Clean your dishes before you chill.
I think so, isn't it?
It has to be done because it makes it worse for you.
So I hate waking up and there's dishes in the kitchen. But like I used to always do that to my parents. I'd be like, because it wasn't my gaff. I was like,
not my problem.
Yeah.
So we are going to move into not so much rapid fire, but shorter and sharper section of the podcast.
Feels like a quiz.
It's not. It's not really a quiz. We're going to start off with a bit of either or, and there's one of them that two of them I'm actually really interested in, because you two have lived both sides of the Irish Sea, and it is a debate I've had with a few friends on both sides. So we're going to start off English or Irish chippy.
Oh, Irish.
Fair play.
I mean, I could never say English to
Yeah,
if you say
exactly.
English or Irish anything. I'm not
You know
joking.
you're on Cross McGlen.
yeah.
When you're having a curry, is it Indian or Chinese?
Oh, that's really hard. Oh my god, I love food so much. But like, I'd have to say Chinese, because a 3-in-1 to me is like just, it's like, it's healing. It covers 3-in-1 things: hangovers, heartbreaks, and hunger. Like, it's just saved my life so many times. So
Yeah.
I'd have to go for a 3-in-1, and then an Indian.
That is a debate I've had with a lot of English people.
Indian is fancy, like, to me, you know. But it's not for England. I know in England, because I used to work on Brick Lane, which is all the curry places. But to me, like, you're getting an Indian, you're doing well. You're getting a 3-in-1, you're not doing so well.
No, in Dundalk, if you're getting a 3-in-1, you're doing great.
Oh, really?
We're all about the
Okay.
curry
Yeah.
and the Chinese curry.
Yeah.
In London, I used to always be like to my mates that are English, I'm going for a curry the weekend. And I'd be like telling them, I'm going to such and such. And like you're going to a Chinese for a curry. And I'm like,
Yeah.
would you not? Where do you go for your curry? To an Indian. I'd always found it so
Yeah,
strange.
it is Indian is very popular in the UK, for sure.
Pizza or pasta?
That is so hard. They're like two of my top tier foods. I'm gonna have to say pasta. I love pasta. Again, saved my life many a time.
I'd probably go the same.
Yeah, it's hard though. But yeah, I'm gonna go pasta. Final answer.
I know your answer. I know your answer for this next one because we've discussed it already. But the gym or sea, we know.
Oh, the sea. Yeah.
The
gym, I know I have to go to, but I don't want to. The sea,
Yeah.
like.
And then the final one of these: meditation or mass.
Oh, meditation is like the millennial mass. Meditation, yeah.
Of
I
course.
haven't been to mass in years.
Don't intend on going anytime soon either.
No, it's just a different type of mass, isn't it? It's a different type of prayer.
Yeah, I think not everybody has to hands to the heart or whatever. Not everybody has to pray. Maybe
Yeah.
you go for a walk for your meditation.
Yeah.
Maybe you exercise. Maybe you go into the sea. Whatever.
Yeah,
Do your thing.
not into a church.
No. Okay, now I'm going to call out a hashtag, right? And I
Yeah.
want you to respond, comment on it, whatever way you seem fit.
Oh, Jesus.
You can take this any direction you want. Go as deep, be as harsh, or just skim over it, whatever you want to do, okay? Hashtag manifesting.
Manifesting. I just thought when you like said lots of men's names and hope they came into your life. Bradley Cooper. Brad Pitt. Damn it, my manifesting wasn't working this
It
week.
didn't work, no. Fair.
Maybe I'm not doing it right. Idris Elba. No, I'm joking.
New year, new me.
No, I hate, like, the new year fills me with dread. It's like the Sunday is the new year of every week, isn't it? You're just like, what? I have to go again. I have to try again. I hate it. And I don't think there's the new me thing. It's like, no, you're grand. You're grand. Same me, just different date. Same me, different date.
Hashtag bikini ready.
Bikini ready.
This is becoming, I've seen
Is
this
it?
start coming up.
I
Like a
haven't
lot of
seen
people
that,
posting
but it's like the same with carbs before or no carbs before carbs kind of thing, or yeah.
it's literally written there, no carbs before marbs.
Oh, is it? That was the next one.
So we
There's
double
something
whammy.
like
yeah.
it's the body image thing. I'm sure I probably definitely fed into that more when I was younger. I'm glad, like, happy to be a bit out of that. Yeah, again, isn't it? What's that one that I've seen online? You don't have to have a beach body, and then people are like, "This is a body I brought to the beach." Like, you're just yourself. I would like, obviously it's not. I know not everyone experiences, but you just feel comfortable in your bikini and go. Like, you don't have to be ready.
100%.
You just have to be there and enjoying yourself. But I know that it's tough with body image and expectations and kind of social media and stuff.
It is very tough. Hashtag you've gone too far. And
Have
what have you ever been told you've gone too far?
Oh, I'm sure. When I was drinking. Just, you've gone too far.
Never with your comedy.
To comedy, maybe once or twice, like, that was a bit mean or maybe not politically correct, but not too much, no.
Can you go too far?
Can you in comedy?
Yeah.
Not to the way that people think, you know. Like I don't agree with the cancel culture or anything. I think with comedy you have to, like, if it's a good joke, it should be able to clear that it's a good joke, rather than, you're actually saying that to be malicious or hurtful or whatever, you know. So as long as you can see the intention and it's humorous and it's clever.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You limit the repertoire of jokes if you.
Yeah, if you're too worried, like,
boxing
it is, like, sometimes you can. If you get too caught up, you're like, who am I going to offend? And you're always going to offend someone these days. Like, honestly, what was it? Something I did, and I offended someone, and you just wouldn't have thought that would have been the case. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. So you just do what you want.
#FitFam.
FitFam. Oh, that was like, I feel like it was like years ago, kind of when it was
2016.
coming up, wasn't it? Yeah.
When I actually meant to ask you this before we got onto this. When you go into the gym, I would see and look around the gym and view things a lot differently than you would.
I'm like,
What are some of the thoughts that goes through Anna's head when she's in the gym?
when can I leave? When's this over? What's for dinner? That kind of thing keeps me going.
Do you distract yourself to get through it, do you?
I'm definitely a messer. Like I'd love to just like dilly dally and hang around and chat, or if I'm with someone and have a mess. But yeah, that's what goes through my head.
What about when you're looking around at the people there?
I love to people watch as well. Not like in a creepy way, because obviously if, like, I know what you mean, like if you're like, it depends if you're used to the gym. Do you know what I mean? If you're used to the gym, you know it. You go in, you might know some people might be friendly. If it's a new gym, that's terrifying. It's intimidating. Other times, like, you can just get like weirdos, can't you? And they come try and tell you about your technique or try and help you. You're like, go away.
Fuck off.
I know what you really want.
Yeah, not a fan of that. So if you're somebody that's listening to this and you go around telling other people about their technique, keep it to yourself.
No way. Even if I do break me back.
Yeah.
That's on me.
And the funny thing is, more often than not, they're probably not even a coach or PT.
Yeah,
or
no, they
anything
just
like that.
love to give you feedback.
No, bro, bending your back is bad for you.
Yeah, let me help you. No.
Suck a duck. But that is it from the short round. Apart from, obviously, I'm sure you can't wait to tell us about your favourite book.
Well, my favourite book is one I will be writing in 3 years. A memoir.
Mi memoir. You have to pronounce it.
Oh, is it?
Mi memoir.
Mi memoir?
Mi memoir.
Mon memoir, no? I don't know my French, actually.
I don't either.
Fun to correct
Did
someone
Spanish in school.
No, memoir. Is that, you actually asked me my favourite book?
Or a book that...
Okay, book. So as I was thinking about this. So growing up, it was like, because I didn't think I was a reader, but now I'm like, oh, that was stupid, just because you weren't into the school stuff. But it was like Harry Potter and Twilight. and then now I love to read like either like autobiographies or self-help books. Like that's me too thing. Yeah. So Amy Poehler's book Yes Please is really good. It's really good. I just find it people's like ways ups and downs is really interesting to me. And then what would be my favorite book recently? Like self-help. Maybe Wim Hof's book is really good. Yeah. I would encourage anyone to read Wim Hof's book, because because I've put online that I'm into ice baths and stuff like that, and then people are like, what can I just ask? Why are you doing that? And I'm like, I can't, like, there's so much science behind it, but don't ask me. Like, I'm always like, follow Wim Hof. But yeah, his own personal story is really interesting of how he got into it, and the science behind what the cold can do for your brain, your body, inflammation, diseases, everything. Like, it's amazing. So that was really inspirational.
And then we'll branch into your fave film.
Oh yeah.
And this is a hard one, I'm sure. So if you have to come up with more than one,
films are hard, isn't it? I was like, God, I probably don't watch enough films actually. Definitely more into the series these days. I don't like scary stuff either. I'm such a wimp.
How would you go about it if you got asked to work in something scary?
I think that would be fun. I think that would be hilarious, but maybe it would give me nightmares as well.
You couldn't watch it though.
Yeah, probably couldn't. Like, or maybe it would help me, because I'm genuinely, absolutely fucking terrified of everything. And it was a really big problem as a kid. Like, couldn't sleep with the lights off or anything. And now I've definitely gotten better. But people have always asked me, why have you got asked to be cast in something? But I think that would probably not make it less real. Do you know what I mean? So then you're like, oh, I've just been killed and blood, and probably be fun. I'd say it'd be fun to be in a proper like horror.
Yeah, I would say
to
so.
act that out. But I guess if it got real creepy, because some of them are really fucking. They really get into you. Like
Into
I'll
the
be like,
psyche.
oh, I'm fine. I will watch that, and then I'm like halfway through, I'm like, no, I'm actually not. Like I know I'm having nightmares for weeks. I can't like then I won't be able to leave the house on my own. All that kind of stuff. Like. So I have to remind myself that it does proper get to me.
There's some ones that psychologically get into you.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
do.
made to get into you.
Yeah.
Like just even the imagery that they're putting up in front of you.
And it's the music sometimes. Sometimes I find if I just go like that and then I'm watching it, it's not as bad as the like it's the suspense. Fuck. Yeah, I can't do it.
So no scary movies.
No scary movies, no. Just like comedies. Maybe a slight thriller, like something a bit interesting, but nothing like something. Yeah, stuff that I know, either stuff that I know could have happened to me or something that I know like is so bizarre beyond happening to me can freak me out. Yeah, favorite movies. I find this hard, and I'm always like,
All right, go
whatever
for
you
series.
say, whatever you say you're gonna say is so uncool, you know. But I love Moulin Rouge
That's a good film.
or Finding Nemo.
Great film.
Yeah, like when I'm thinking back of what makes me like feel good growing up, like. Moulin Rouge and that soundtrack, like, ooh, I could do that elephant medley, like, you know, it goes into so many different woo. That's really fun.
You like your musicals,
empowering.
then,
Yeah, and like there's some really good Disney films, like obviously like Lion King growing up. Really sad. Finding Nemo, so cute.
I can respect.
And like then there's like the funny ones like The Hangover, or, like Step Brothers and Bridesmaids, like proper just like. Really funny.
Silly humour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Sarah, you brought up series that you're into more of them. So what series has Anna been digging on lately?
Because I guess lockdowns has made us all watch them properly. Because before I'd be out gigging the whole time, I actually wasn't really watching a lot of TV. So then it kind of made me fall back in love with watching series. What have you been watching recently? Dope Sick, Succession.
Dope Sick is very fucking good.
That made me cry so much. I was just crying the whole time, but I loved it because I love crying. And there's a really good series actually called The Marvelous Miss Maisel on Amazon. It's about a woman starting comedy in the 50s. It's really good. Yeah, like The Queen's Gambit. That was good.
Do you find could you nearly convince yourself that watching things like that is like, you know, I'm like kind of just like, you know, research. Yeah.
No, I should though. Should I? Because I'm literally like, I find being freelance or creative, you do try and think every second you're not doing something, you're like, oh my God, I should be doing something. So maybe now I'm like, oh my God, this is research. Yeah.
I do that when I get sucked into a YouTube video that has anything to do with food, even if it's nothing to do with health about food. I'm like, maybe I might suggest my clients to cook this someday. Like, you know, I'll figure a way to justify it.
Yeah. I'm going to do that now. And everything I do, sleeping the whole time.
Yeah.
This is research.
3 hours deep into watching Anthony Bourdain on fucking Netflix just because I'm too lazy to stop it when it goes on to the next episode.
Yeah.
It's research.
Yeah.
Grand.
It is. It all helps. It all adds.
Then I also asked you, what is your favourite tune? And this isn't to have a sneer at you, just in case you're worried.
I always find music to be like the scariest thing when people ask you, because you're like...
People are snobs about music.
I'm definitely not. Like, people are such music snobs, it wrecks my head. Like, I hate when I couldn't, I'd never listen to that.
Oh my God, you've never heard of this guy?
Yeah, like, no, I haven't. I'm such a sheep. Like, I'm definitely like and then just like, I'm not someone who goes searching for people that they haven't heard of or like the thing. So I love sad songs. Like, I will, like, you know, have you seen that when, like, if anyone packs me the aux cable, I'm like, okay, we're all ready to get real sad real quick. Like, I think power ballads, like, to me, are like it. Like, I'll just be like, put on like Adele or fucking like 80s power ballads and just be like, baby, 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 and I'll just get into it like that. Like that's what gives me life.
That's not what I would have expected out of you.
I obviously enjoy going to raves, or if I listen to, like, if I'm training, it'll be definitely like techno or something, but no. When I'm on my own or in the car, I'm like, yeah, I need to just, like, I have like a lot of like emotion that needs to get out.
Do you sing in the car all the time?
Yeah, sing in the car. And
could have guessed that.
Yeah, I love singing in the car. Like, yeah, it's like on your own, and then someone looks at you and you're like fucking giving it socks to Adele.
Oh man, music never sounds as good as it does in the car or at a rave.
Yeah,
big massive speaker. You're at someone's gig, different kettle of fish.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know. I miss concerts. Actually, someone put in a concert coming up somewhere. I was like, fuck, you forgot that we haven't gone to a proper like good gig in 2 years now.
Yeah, the last gig I was at was Kneecap in London. Such a random thing.
Yeah.
Great combo. But gigs are a different kettle of fish. Speaking of gigs, is there any gigs in the sites for yourself coming up?
Yeah. Actually getting busy now again, which is nice. But like, what? Like, I was so used to doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm over in London next week for gigs. I'm in London twice in February for gigs. Then I've got gigs coming up in Dublin. I'm going to be performing at Wild Roots Festival in Sligo in the summer. Probably a few more festivals, to be fair, I think, are booking in again. And the Edinburgh Fringe is what I'm working towards with my hour show. So I'll be doing like work in progresses up until that to get it to a good standard. But yeah.
So everything's like nearly building up to that, really, is it?
Yeah, like that's the big, like, our debut at Edinburgh. And yeah, you just have to test it out. You know, you have to test that whole full hour. Like usually you do test out new bits, but it's always 5-10 minutes thing. But like literally need to build up this full hour. That's gonna be brand new material. So yeah, I need to. I've done 1 or 2 work in progress before Christmas, so those poor people that had to sit through that. No, actually, it wasn't. I don't think it went. They're very nice when you know they're like, you're like, this is actually new, working it out. But like, I'm like, wait till you come back in a few months and see how you've helped me make it better. Yeah, it's fun.
This keeps squeaking behind me, and I'm trying not to move while doing it. But even the fact that you will get better at just saying it and more comfortable with doing it as much as
and
like
finding something a bit like that works, a better word or way to say it. No, that's actually, it's a really enjoyable process actually.
Yeah.
Getting to that, because you're still playing around and people know you're still playing around, but getting it to the final bit and then doing it the final bit and then being like, this is what I think is the final bit.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, because you're like, do you think that as well? This is what like
it's like your little baby. You're just like, you know, nurturing it, feeding it up until then, and then it's almost time to grow up.
Yeah. And you're like, go
out into the
free.
world.
Do well, I hope. Hopefully you'll be a success.
So if people go onto your Instagram and website, they'll probably find any info on shows and stuff, will they?
Anna Cliff Comedy Instagram. I'll post about gigs on that, and then on my website, annaclifford.com, there'll be like the work in progress shows will be all ticketed there.
Boom.
I have some added. I need to add more. God, I wish I had a PA. Not yet. You know, the admin side is hard.
You can advertise now if you want.
Anyone like free internship PA for me? Can't pay you yet, but lots of experience.
Do you want to get into comedy?
Yeah. Comedy, content creating, marketing, you know, we have to do it all these days.
Yeah, you're not the first person to like, one of the girls just like, is anybody that knows anyone who's a videographer, maybe graphic designer? Laddie.
Literally, at all, barista, anyone, like.
Barista. All help is welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming, Anna.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
You are a legend.
Thank you for the donut beforehand.
Oh, the very good donut.
Yeah.
I need to eat mine, actually. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Lally.
Thank you, guys.
Adios.